Today we're taking a first look at the Guerilla Gravity Pedalhead steel hardtail made in Colorado. The Guerilla Gravity Pedalhead's been around for a while. You remember the old version had this massive gusset on a long seat tube. Well, this is the newest edition. It's only available in a size 3 right now. I'm a little bit confused about that because this is made in Colorado. You'd think they could just make it to different sizes, but I'm wondering if they're sourcing their tubing from overseas and have it all mitered somewhere else and just weld it up in Colorado. I don't know. But this is what we've got. It's a size 3, and this is a little bit on the long side for me, but I actually think it's going to do pretty well. It's got some really unique shapes, unlike anything I've seen before. We've got a square down tube. We have a rectangular top tube. The seat stays are really interesting. They kind of flare up and get wider here and get back narrow. Even the seat tube, when I look at it, it goes wide and then comes in narrow for the top part here. Really interesting design. Another cool feature are these removable dropouts. So you can unscrew those and bolt in these sliding dropouts that allow you to run it single speed. So it comes with both sets of dropouts. Love that it's able to be run single speed. Running a hardtail single speed is magical if you've never tried it before. It's not the same thing as not shifting, believe me. It's also got a universal derailleur hanger, which I love seeing. Frame weight came in at 6.12 pounds with the rear axle, seat collar, and the headset cups pressed in. That is respectable. Anytime I can get a steel frame in at 6 pounds or less, I consider it a light steel frame. So this is one of the lighter steel frames. I'm impressed. The marketing says it's got a short chainstay. It doesn't. It's a 435 chainstay. That's not short. That's actually a little bit on the longer side of things. It does have a roomy cockpit. It's got room for 2 water bottles or a water bottle and a tool pouch in here. I love the fully external cable routing. There's just a lot of great simple things going on with this bike. This frame's meant for a 120 to 140 mil fork. I'm so tempted to run it with a 120 because I love 120 mil forks, but we're going to throw a 130 on to give it an accurate review. I've got some fun parts set aside for this build. I'm excited to put it together. Let's get this thing built up. Like a lot of steel frames, this has a 30.9 seat tube. That's important to know. A lot of steel frames do that, but still these days, man, I'd say 80% of the frames I am running into have a 31.6. So this is a little bit less common size, but that's pretty normal for steel frames. All right, let's see what size tires fit in this thing. They claim 2.6s. Let's start with a 2.8, see what that looks like. All right, here's a 29 by 2.8 on a 40i rim. This is not rated for this, but it's always fun to see what they'll fit. It does not fit a 2.8, not on the drive side. Let me show you. There's only 1 millimeter of clearance in there. That's not enough. So a 2.6 is definitely going to fit, and I like that. I think all hardtails should fit at least 2.6s if they can. Most people aren't running 2.8s. I just throw these in because I know a lot of you guys are curious what's the absolute max. This wouldn't even clear on the stand. Let's try a 27.5 by 3.0 because a lot of you are still running 27.5 plus. Let's see. This is a big ask of any frame. A 3.0 is huge. There's plenty of clearance up top. It's down in the chainstay. That's always the hardest place to get it. So here we have 2 to 3 mil over there and 1 mil over here. Plenty of clearance up top. We got at least a centimeter on each side. So a 27.5 by 2.8 might fit. This is also a 45i rim. That's pretty wide. So if you're running a 40i, it's going to pull it in a little bit. 2.6 for sure on the 27.5. For wheels, Evil sent me their Fusion fiber wheels. They're carbon fiber wheels. There's a couple companies using this Fusion fiber technology. Atomic, Revel, Evil. I thought I saw Chris King. I can't remember for sure if Chris King's using it. And it's supposed to offer a very noticeably softer ride. So I'm excited to try that. So I'll be comparing some aluminum wheels to these. But yeah, I want to feature these on this build. These are the Evil loopholes. You can get these when ordering an Evil bike, or you can just buy the wheels straight from Evil for a non-Evil bike like we're doing here. Huge shout out to Evil for sending me a pair of their loopholes here. And this has the i9 Hydra hub. Having the high engagement of a Hydra is pretty awesome. You do have to put up with the noise though. You either love that or hate it. I used to love it as a kid because it was a way of showing off you had really great hubs. I hate it now, but the engagement is magical. So if they're going to be loud, at least they're going to have good engagement. And they're way lighter than the Onyx Classics, which I love, which are silent and instant engagement. But those Onyx are really heavy. So you either get heavy and quiet or light and noisy for high engagement. All right, we're running a 2.3 on here. I definitely think they could have got these chainstays a lot shorter. But 435 is where a lot of people like it. I don't expect this to be particularly playful and get up on the back wheel easily, but who knows? We'll see. For cranks, we're going with 5 Dev, of course, and they just announced this anodized purple color. How could I not? There's too much black on this bike as is, so I'm going to try these out on this frame. I am so excited. Fun to see them getting into colors and adding some even cooler personality to your bike. Now this bike has a 52 mil chain line. You need to space these out a lot. This already has a rub on the chainstay, probably from the previous rider who rode this. And it only has room for a 32 tooth. So if I'm gonna run oval, which I always do, I have to run a 30 tooth. Otherwise it won't clear. Oh, these look so good on here. I have a feeling 5Dev's just getting started with all the beautiful things they're about to do. I've got a 5% discount code for all things 5Dev. They have cool products in the works that I'm not allowed to talk about that you definitely want to check out. All right, we got it all built up. It looks so good with the purple pop of these cranks. And I've got my purple pawl lever right here for the dropper. That's my favorite dropper lever. I think it came out really nice. I'm not usually a huge fan of black on black bikes, so the purple pop's nice. And I like that this is a matte black with gloss decals. I think it looks really good. Final build weight in this configuration came in at 29.96 pounds, and these wheels weighed in at 1930 grams. So they're not the world's lightest carbon wheels, but if they have the ride feel that they're claimed to have, I'm really excited about that. I'm also trying something new, these K-Ped... Yeah, I don't know how to say it. They're the cheapest SPDs I could find on Amazon, and I miss the days of $25 Shimano SPD pedals. You used to be able to get them for that all the time. These look a little bit thinner, but reviews were favorable, so I figured I'd get a set to let you know what I think about them, because if we can get SPDs for 35 bucks that hold up, that's a good way to spend money. The rectangular tubing really gives it a distinctive look, and the squarish down tube, the C-tube looks like it bends, but it doesn't. It just has an interesting look to that. I like the little seat stay bridge. I really like the cable routing on this bike. I actually think it's perfect. That very rarely happens. Beautiful cable routing. The cable ports all exit on the right side. It sounds dumb, but getting cable routing right is one of those things that so many companies don't do. So bravo to Guerilla Gravity for getting the cable routing so dialed. It's just no nonsense. Perfect. All right, now it's time to throw it on the geometer to see what the actual bike geometry measures out to. This is a 130 Cane Creek helm, Mark II, 64.5 degrees. Effective seat angle, 76.4, nice and steep. Reach is 455. Front center is 782. Rear center is 428. Chainstay length is 438. Bottom bracket drops 56 millimeters. I like that. It's a little bit higher than some we've been seeing. That should make it be a little bit more playful, a little bit easier to throw around. Seat tube length is 432-ish with the collar. That's interesting. The actual geo I measured was quite different from the geo chart. Seat angle's a lot steeper. That's why I always pull out the geometer, because geo charts are often all over the place. Some are spot on, like that Trek Roscoe. It was very close to what I measured, and some are not spot on. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in real life and what it rides like. So I'm not here to call anybody out. I just want to let you know that in this case, the geo chart was not very accurate. Now, this is the only size that Guerilla Gravity has right now, and it's sized for someone 5'9" to 6 foot. I'm 5'6", so this is a little bit big for me. That said, I've ridden a lot of 455 to 465 mil reach bikes that did not feel too big for me, but some did. And so I'll let you know if it's feeling too big for me in the ride review. And whenever I get a bike that's a little bit the wrong size, I still try to describe the ride characteristics and what it's like in the ride review, with a huge caveat that it's not my perfect size. That happens every once in a while. I actually think this size is going to work out well for how I like to ride bikes like this. So this looks like a very modern hardtail by the numbers. Nice and steep seat angle, nice long reach, nice slack head angle around a 130 fork. BB's not crazy low. I love that. I think it actually should handle extremely well on most trails. So this was just the first look where we make a lot of assumptions based on what we know about it. It's to give you a couple looks beyond what you can find about the info online and to compare real world geometry. But what it really comes down to is the ride review. Unfortunately, in this day and age, especially with hardtails, it's really hard to throw a leg over a modern hardtail before you buy it. So I hope I'm able to provide value to you guys in knowing what a bike rides like before you buy it. So make sure you're subscribed so you get notified when I do release that video. If you're interested in picking my brain on all the bikes I've ridden and getting a customized recommendation for the perfect 5 or 6 hardtails or even full suspensions for where you live and how you ride, that's a service I offer on Patreon. I've got a link to it in the description below. If you don't need that service, feel free to keep enjoying my free YouTube videos. I keep these free so everybody can enjoy them and learn from them. But from time to time, people need extra one-on-one bike consultation before they spend a couple thousand on a bike. This thing looks cool. It looks like it's meant to go fast and have a party doing so. If this makes me laugh 1% as much as Johan, it's a winner. Thanks for watching. There's a party in the mountains, and you're invited.